good morning. My name is Kelsey Griffin. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Aansa.
Have a seat right here. It's wonderful to have you here this morning.
Thank you.
So is there anything you would like to tell me about yourself before we start the interview?
Well, I'm a chemistry teacher, as it says in my resume, and I'm a very passionate teacher about it. Like, as far as I can remember, like 5th or 6th grade, I always liked to help students with learning. I was more of an ongoing kind of teacher, like hands-on, and I also like, you know, if I see anyone in need of help, no matter what, I will drop anything and go to them, that kind of teacher. And also, I am like this kind of teacher that is willing to sacrifice everything to make sure that this class doesn't fail.
So why do you think we should hire you for this job, Aansa?
I think you should hire me because I know that Bel Air is a really good high school in the state of Texas, and if I, got the position of chemistry teacher, I think can bring the chemistry status here at Bel Air to the next level, to like get better. I think each year will be like a new year for me to learn how to make the school better and better, the science department in particular.
So give me an example of a time where you felt you went above and beyond the call of duty at work.
I remember this one time I saw this student. She had a chemistry project due the next day and she hadn't even started, and she was failing chemistry. And I remember I sacrificed my lunch break, my all night. I actually came to her house to help her out. I mean, I actually had to go to a funeral that night, but I sacrificed going there because I knew this student was really, really wanting to do well in chemistry, and she had a lot going on. She was very athletic.
So why are you leaving your current job?
I actually just want to move out of Waco because, like, I'm happy there, but, like, over there I'm teaching middle school, but, like, I want to teach more high school because I think chemistry is more of a complicated subject that, like, high schoolers can get. I mean, middle schoolers get it too, but it takes a while, unlike high schoolers, to get just like that.
So I also see that you created and taught lessons in chemistry and biology. So do you love one more than the other, or is it kind of equal?
It's kind of equal, because like biology, there's a section of it where there's chemistry involved and vice versa. So I like both of them the same. I can't decide which one I like more.
That's awesome, that's awesome. So you were also valedictorian.
Yeah.
So why do you think you went from University of Texas to the University of Baylor?
I originally wanted to become a doctor. Like, my parents were pushing me, and I came from a medical family, so I thought if I became a nurse or something, it'd be something I'd really want to do. I liked it there, but not as much as I wanted to. I couldn't see medical calling out to me as much as chemistry, because, like, I don't know, it's just, those weren't getting together with me.
So what are you looking for in terms of career development?
I'm looking for, to be recognized as somebody, because back at the school I currently teach at, I'm pretty much known as a nobody, because like most of the teachers are like almost about to retire, and I'm like the only young teacher there, and I sort of like want to prove that, young teachers can have good motives and stuff like that, because at my old school, I tried to like tell them to keep up with times, and it's failed ever since then.
So if you're selected for this position, can you describe your strategy for the first 90 days?
First 90 days, the first week, I would definitely play a lot of icebreakers to get to know people's names, because I actually have short-term memory loss, so I forget people's names just like that. And the next, let's call it 83 days, I will give a lot of lessons. Every day I'll give a lesson, like maybe every 2-3 weeks I'll give a test, but most of the lessons I will give will be kinesthetic, like mainly labs, or like games, or something just to make people get the concept. And I will constantly go over and over and over till I'm satisfied by how much the class knows the topic.
Okay, what kind of personality do you work with best, and why?
I sort of work better with people that actually apply themselves and more of, let's just say, auditory and kinesthetic. Visual I can work with, but you just gotta experience the whole thing in chemistry. That's just how I think of it as. Not just hearing and seeing, but also kinesthetic.
So what do you think you're going to do when a student, really doesn't really like your class, or, tries to some way, get themselves out of it? what is your plan going to do to actually encourage them to really learn about chemistry?
I will sort of like see if they're like in any sports or anything. 'Cause, like, you know, whatever days that they like, you know, have sport practices, I'll sort of take them out and I'll sort of talk to them. I mean, I'll approach them like sweetly, but in a bit of like a firm tone, saying that, you know, I noticed you're not applying yourself. That, you know, you should just like come to me for tutorials, or, you know, why aren't you getting this? I'm just gonna say it in a sweet tone so that they can understand it. I will schedule private tutoring sessions, and like I'll sacrifice my lunch if I have to again, just to make the student like know chemistry just like that, just to pass their sophomore, junior, or senior year.
Would you describe yourself as a leader or a follower?
Mixed. Like when I lead, I sort of lead people to understand something, but I'm a follower too, because I'm still learning things, and you know, I make mistakes. I like to learn from my mistakes and to learn how to become a better teacher, learn better lesson plans. I mean, so I really can't decide what I really am.
So what do you think the qualities of a good leader are?
Qualities of a good leader would pretty much be honest, down to earth, and willing to admit that they make mistakes.
What do you think the qualities of a bad leader are?
Someone that is very deceitful, thinks they're always perfect, and, you know, not willing to change or adapt to like the modern times, or to like admit they're wrong or something like that, or refuses to help at all.
So, us being at Bel Air High School, what do you think that you could do for us that other candidates can't?
I think that I can prove to not just you, but the whole school, that I can make chemistry a fun subject, and a class that a lot of people would want to enjoy, instead of thinking of it as a tortured kind of class.
So what do you know about exactly what Bel Air has going on in our school day to day, not just chemistry, but just kind of overall?
I actually have a few relatives, and my two sisters actually went there a couple of years ago, and I recall them telling me that they loved every minute here, because they just loved it.
So what are you looking for in terms of career development?
I am looking for like to be recognized here, to like, you know that I have a place here, to know that I can achieve a lot of things, not just as a chemistry teacher, but as a teacher and as a person in general.
So how long do you see yourself teaching with us?
Probably a decade or two, because I'm very impressed by the school.
That's awesome. So how would you kind of describe your work style and kind of what you do?
My work style, like I mentioned, I give tests every 2 weeks. I give quizzes every like maybe once a week, or if not every 2 weeks as well. But like my work style is mainly based on labs and on presentations, and like a lot of written work, because I believe in muscle memory, just like it says in algebra. Like, you know, once you write something down a lot, it will just come to you just like that. I believe if you keep practicing at it, you will do well, and that's sort of like my lesson strategy, really.
Do you give study guides or like any extra credit assignments? Because I know students here were very involved in activities and clubs. We have a lot of things going on, but do you also kind of have time in class where they can kind of slow things down and really go over what you've taught?
I give extra credit every now and then, but mainly when like a whole class doesn't do well in a test, my emergency strategy is to give them some way to give them extra credit, or like half the class doesn't do well on like an assignment, I will assign them extra credit if they want to do it. But if the whole class fails the test, they have to do it. And what was the other question? I forgot.
Oh, it was just basically like, how do you think, like, what are you going to do if, you know, the study guide, or, you know, if they're too busy doing something else, what are you going to do to make sure that, you know, they're recalling what you're teaching?
Every single test I will give them, like a couple of days in advance, like maybe before a quiz, I will make a study guide for them. And I will actually spend a day or two in class reviewing the study guide, and I'll always be open for tutorials anytime, like during my free periods, to help them out with it. I mean, ask as many questions as you want. I won't feel obligated. I won't judge. That kind of person.
What are 3 positive character traits you don't have?
Positive. Patience. I mean, I have patience, but then there's times where I don't have it. I don't have a lot of confidence because like I can be really quiet at times, and there's times where I regret not speaking up. And probably being honest, honest, not to hurt someone's feelings. Not honest, like I lie a lot.
Well, thank you so much. I will look over your resume. It was wonderful meeting you.
Thank you so much.